Okay. Okay, I got all my bushings in there. Hope you can see it. I ended up having to do them all. It's easier that way. You don't have to worry later on. But each one of these got a little, I reamed it out with a little bit larger reamer that matches these size of these bushings. It's a system that KWM is the manufacturer of these bushings and the reamers and things. So we got one here. That's for that small wheel, and then the worm gear. The tail end goes here, and as you can see, these are bent over out of the way so I could get the gears out. This one and this one. These, bridges. So now we got to try to get them back in there. So to do that, we're going to be using these flat nose right here. First thing I want to do is brush this a little bit with my wire brush. And when you're using a wire brush on a Dremel, man, these little bristles, they are dangerous. They fly out all the time. You gotta be wearing your safety glasses, and I don't wear mine enough, but when I'm doing this, I'm definitely gonna put these on, because later on I'll be walking around here barefoot and I'll get one in my foot. That's how and it's bad. So be careful, safety first. But I wanted to just clean this up a little bit around the top here. I see a little bit of rust around that. Around that pivot where I put it in the ultrasonic. So I'm just gonna get a little teeth. Clean the teeth off a little bit, and clean up this pinion a little bit right here too on that. Get down in all those little grooves. Make sure there's no dirt there. Not too much, okay? So then, bent this quite a bit, so actually what I did was just twist it. I just twisted it, so I twisted it that way, so I'm just going to twist it back this way a little bit. Hopefully it's not deformed in any of the other planes. So just turn it a little bit. Getting them in there can be a little tricky. Getting them bent back in over that pivot. So we'll put that there. You got to try to kind of hold that gear in the right place while you, with your finger here. Oh, yeah, this can be tricky. Okay. Okay, I got it in there, but it's still needs to go a little bit more. Gotta keep this from having so much play that way. You gotta have some in shake in there, because If it's too tight, the gear won't spin. So we got to give it a little extra pressure there. Still could use a little more. Let me go this way just a little bit. Oh yeah, oh man. I like the way that one went. Now this could bend a little bit more too. I did have to move this one a little bit, so we'll go back in with it just a little bit too. Okay. Now it's got just got some in play. You see how that in play is in between these two pivot points, bearing points. It's got to have a little shake like that. This might be a little bit too much yet, but man, it's working good. Free spinning. Okay, that's going to be a good one. So now I think I want to take just a little bit more of that shake out of there. I think I'll do it back over here again. Let's see. And I gotta remember to keep in here where you guys can see a little bit. Okay. That looks pretty straight. This looks like it could go a little more. Okay, I think I like it. I hope I'm keeping this over here where y'all can see it. Okay. Okay, so then we got a little wheel over here, and it mates up with this one. Like that, so we got a pretty good distance here. So what I'm going to do is try to bend this one here. Just twisted it also, so I'm just going to try twisting it right back. A good place to grip it where you don't bend the wrong stuff. It's in there, but I'm torquing it in the wrong, on the wrong planes. So what we got to do here is go this way a little, and then maybe I need to go like this. Maybe I need to go like this a little. This one's harder. It's working, but I want to get this a little more straight. You see, that's still pretty crooked. And this doesn't have any shake to it. Maybe this isn't in its hole. Oh, no, that's what it is. This one. It's not lining up good. Oh, I see now. Okay. See, my holes aren't lining up well. what I gotta do is bring this down a little. Okay, now I got in a hole there. No, this is a little tricky right here. I don't remember having this much trouble with one. Let me get a different jaw here, maybe a little different leverage. Yeah, that looks like it's better. It's getting there. It's getting there. I think a little bit more tweak right here. Oh, that's starting to look good. See how everything's coming around parallel, nice and square. Got some play there. Got to be free. Feels good. No catching, no. I'm gonna give it one more little tweak. One more little tweak here to see. One more little tweak here, and see. I can get a grip on it here. Okay, we're gonna leave it there. That looks good. I'll look down here to see, to make sure that my meshing, the meshing in my gears down in this is the gear, and this is a pinion down here. Okay, and what I want to do is make sure that the teeth of the gear are down in the gullets of the pinion, but not too far, but not too loose either. Not so far they bind, not so loose they slip. It's hard to see. I've got my magnetic visor on here. I've got a little magnifying glass that I can peer in there with. And that looks real good. That tooth is almost at the bottom of the gullet. Yeah, it's not touching. It's not wallowing around in there too bad. And my worm gear here looks like it's got good engagement with the, in fact it could get a little bit closer. So I look at this plane, I look down this and see if I need to bend it up a little bit more, and it looks like I could bend it just a little bit more, you know, fold it together to get my worm gear into my pinion a little bit deeper, just to help it so it never slips. Oh man, I think it's turned out to be a good job. Alright, I'm happy with it. I hope you are. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dab a little oil on there while we're thinking about it. Oh, and then I just dropped all of my oil cup. And I didn't spill too much, but we'll add a little bit in there. Let me clean up the outer edge here. Don't want to get it contaminated with any dirt or metal or something like that. So let's just add one little drip into there. This stuff's expensive. I can't remember what I paid for that little bottle. $59, I think it was. Try not to drop it like that. Too much. Okay. Now, we just want to get all the pivot points. And start down here on the bottom with this fly. Just a little dab in there, and it stays on the end of my little oiler. And just put a little dab right on the hole. And we'll get these two over here. And one of the guys that taught me says he had a section in his teaching where he says you got to control your breathing. You'll forget to breathe. And I'm like, oh, what? Seriously? And yeah, seriously. What you got to do is you got to think about breathing when you're doing tedious work like this, because you'll hold your breath trying to be more still. I still do it sometimes. I have to think about it. Take my breath. Okay, and then you can't forget your little pivot up here on the top, even though we didn't do anything to that one. And put a little fresh oil in there. Make sure we've got the bottom one. Okay, and that's all. That's all there is. Put my little cap on there and put it up there in a safe place. Hopefully. Okay. Alright. Now, what we're going to do, start looking at getting this thing put back together. We'll set this off to the side. Happy with the way that turned out. Looks real nice. Can't even hardly tell that it was ever bent, and that's what you want. Sign of a good repair, it's no sign at all. Okay, we got our thing in here, and make sure we got our bearing back here pegged out. Got all the old dirty oil out of it. It's larger than our typical toothpick, so we'll go with this. I have several kinds of sizes of wood over there that I can get in there and try to get all that dirt out. That's not too bad. Looks like I may have cleaned that one pretty good already. Okay. Okay, and I wire brushed my little pivot on this end down here to help it clean it up a little bit. Okay, now let's find our little screws. If I remember right, they were all the same length. Get my little handy dandy screwdriver here. Except my slot head screws to get them started. Just get them in there. Don't try to tighten it with them. With your, you know what that thing does is spreads those and makes it thicker down there on the end. When you push this down, holds that slot. Okay, and we'll switch over to normal screwdriver. I just want to kind of torque these down a little bit just for giggles. Okay. Okay, now I forgot about this thing. I forgot about this one. It's walled out pretty good. It's walled out. It was moving around quite a bit in there. But maybe it's not anything to really worry about, is it? I mean, that's the chain end, that's the sprocket end of the so it's not moving around back here where it drives too much, so we might just go with that. It's really not critical. It's really not critical, but I want it to. Okay, and then we get it in there, and we gotta get some in play here too. See, we gotta have a little in play on this, you know, so it'll spin freely. So if we push in, we got it in the hole back here, and we push in a little bit on our brass bushing here. And then let's just barely snug that down and see what we got. It feels pretty good. You don't want too much friction there, because you don't want anything to be restricting your gear here. Okay, I see just a slight bit of in play there, but not so much that it would disrupt the mesh that's gonna, you know, when we get this mounted back in there, this little gear and that one's gonna mesh up We got to make sure we're not gonna be disrupting that. We want good meshing. Okay, so we'll snug that one down right there like that. And then let's go ahead, get this all put back together on here. This was riding up right here like this. Now we had these larger screws for this one, if I remember correctly. Larger screws, and we'll just go on in there with them. Oh, I didn't have it all the way down there, did I? Okay, got that one. Let's see, wait a minute now. We had some washers. We didn't forget any washers, did we? Don't let me forget washers now. Because I will. I have. I probably will again. Okay, let's just do that, and then let's go with a little bit larger tip here for these larger screws and snug them down a little. Okay, that's all we needed there. Alright, now, where were those washers? I believe there was some on this one. I believe it was back here, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Was it? Seems like both of these are on the same. Or do you guys remember? I don't. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I do remember taking a picture. So let's have a little look here. Go to gallery. Or did I take them on the camera I'm filming with? I don't see them on my. No, I got them on that other camera. So I'm gonna have to pause a minute.